Hi, everybody. It's Thursday night, and this is The Cool Crone. I'm Colleen Pearl. Welcome. I'm going to be doing personal readings tonight for anyone who's in the chat and wants to put in their question. So, welcome. This is my channel, and I can see that I need to work at getting more people here for the live streams. I know it's a new show for me. People are used to me doing a lot of group shows. Hello, Annie's Gifts. Thank you for being here. Yes, you're the first one here. First I changed the time of my shows from 7 to 7:30 Eastern, and that was due to my new job, my new schedule. But then I started scheduling more shows that were just solo shows, and I guess people are just they have to find me. They just have to get here. So I guess first I'm going to do a reading just for the collective, and I'm going to use a new deck that someone gave me, and I hope you can hear me okay. Let me just see if I can. Yeah, you should be able to hear me okay. All right, so I was gifted this deck by artist Liz, and it is the Mystic Palette Tarot. Do that so it doesn't have so much of a glare. And here comes my kitty. She's always very excited about the shows and being on camera. Come on by, kitty. You can go by. You're right where I want to put the cards. Okay. Can you lay down or something? No, just lay down. All right. Well, she's just going to rub her face against the microphone, moving it all over the place. So that's just what she wants to do. And I'm a little bit... There we go. There, that's a little better. Trying to keep the microphone steady in one spot, but it wants to move. You're not helping, kitty. You're moving it. All right, so if my voice volume is changing, it's because the cat's moving my microphone. So we're going to do... There she goes. Are you going to go by? Now she's right in front of me, and I can't see anything. Okay. We're just going to move this, and I hope that you can do whatever you're going to do. No, you can't be there. You can't be there. You have to be over here. Do I have to move you out? I think I have to move you out. Okay, folks, I'm just going to move the cat out. Okay, here we go. Let's move you. Oh, gosh. And first, you have to say hello to everybody. Hello, everybody. This is me. Okay. And now you have to go. Bye-bye. There you go. Have a good night. Okay. Oh, yeah. So I always try to feed the cats before I do the show so that they're not begging for everything while I'm on camera. But Nyx has a mind of her own. She's going to do what she's going to do. So, okay. So we have a few people who have come into the chat. That's wonderful. Oh, good. Artist Liz is here. Liz, I'm going to be using the deck you gave me. So I'm going to do first. Yeah, I love tuxedo cats, Innocent Potato. I really do. I've had a few in my life. So I'm going to just do a reading for the collective. And okay, and we're just doing a general reading for the collective. Just want everybody to get something out of this. Today is the day that Mercury went retrograde in Pisces. So for those of you who have planets in Virgo, Pisces, Gemini, or Sagittarius, you're going to feel this retrograde a lot because it's either going to be right on top of that planet or opposite it or in square aspect, which is a stressful aspect. The rest of us probably will be all right. Okay, so let's see what the Mystic Palette can tell me about what's going on for everybody. All right. So people need to rest. People need to just take it easy. And I know I've been feeling very much like I need to rest, although today I had a lot of energy. So maybe that's what the Mercury retrograde's doing for me. Then we get the Page of Swords. So new ideas, new things coming to light, new messages, new things coming our way, even maybe some surprising things or things that you just weren't expecting coming your way. And look at this beautiful card. Her wings are like butterfly wings on her crown. So beautiful. Such a gorgeous. And birds mean messages too. So there's that. But, you may have an energy lag here. All right. And nice. So basically, I think people are feeling pretty secure in what's going on. We have the Nine of Pentacles here. And she's okay. She has what she needs. And what are we coming from? We're coming from a place of feeling like we were not in control, like something or someone else was controlling our world. And now we're moving out of that and feeling like we are in control. So that's good. And that's probably why we're feeling that lack of energy, lethargy a little bit. But we've got new stuff coming, lots of new stuff coming. And this is the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, so for a while, you're going to want to feel like you're hanging on to everything very, very tight. But there is new horizons. You're going to stake your claim. You're going to stand your ground. You're going to make a play. You're going to show the world who you are and march out to whatever drummer you're drumming to. And whatever you're feeling is right for you, you're going to do it. You're going to take some kind of action there. Okay. Now, some of you are feeling like you just want to do your own thing. You don't want to listen to anybody. You don't even care if the rest of the world knows what you're doing. You're getting ready. You think you're getting ready for a spiritual journey or a journey that just can't be dictated by anybody else. It's really for you. And look at this cool picture on the card. It's got a little Westie dog there, a little white dog. I love the thing on his forehead, if you can see that. Oh, that's really interesting. I'm going to have to look at that with a magnifying glass. I don't quite know how to describe that, but I love his hat with the sun and the moon hanging off of it. What's the other thing? Just symbols. It's got Uranus hanging off of one, and one of the other symbols is kind of going down behind the other floopy thing from his hat. But it's very cool. Okay, so that's that guy. And what the world is seeing from us is a calmness and an inner strength, the ability to dig deep, use our resources, and come up with new ways of doing things, I think, that we didn't even know we could do. What are we afraid of? What is coming out in front of us that we're a little bit afraid? Well, we're afraid of our own power. This is the Empress. This is our divine feminine. And she is very, very powerful. However, it is something that we're both afraid of and that we hope for. So don't let your power scare you. Embrace it. Go with it. Be one with it. And know that you may not be totally in control, but you have the power to navigate and negotiate whatever life is bringing to you right now. And the final outcome card is the Wheel of Fortune. You have tons and tons of things that are going to be changing. And 2026 is really a year of change. There's a lot of stuff that's changing. So that's for the collective. That's for everybody watching. And if you're watching this on replay, that's for you. That's for what's going on with you. But if you're new here, just realize that everybody's reading really is probably going to resonate with other people in the audience. So it may not resonate with every single person, but for every reading that is done, other people will resonate to it as well. This is one of the cool things that the guides love about the internet and about YouTube, that when we are reaching out and getting information from our guides, your guides, angels, whatever, universal energies, that those messages can resonate for everyone who's out there, or at least a certain portion of people who are out there. All right, so now I'm going to go into the chat and start picking questions if you have put in questions. There we go. I'm going to go back up to the top and see what we got. Okay. Sorry, I have to lean over. My monitors are a little far away. So, how many cats do I have? That's an easy question to answer. I have 2 cats. They're sisters. They're Aquarians. They were born February 5th, and they just turned 9. And so I guess they're getting to be old ladies. They are very, very sweet. I got them from a rescue place that only handles cats. So when they came to me, they had never been outside. They were actually born in that shelter. Their whole litter, the mom and everybody was, found, rehomed, as it were. And those cats had never seen a dog. They had never seen the outside. They'd never been in a car. They didn't know anything about the outside world. All they knew was the little pens they were in. And of course, people took them out and played with them and stuff. So they knew people, but they're really, really cute. My other cat is named Mab, and she's very skittish. So you'll never see her. All right. So that's how many cats I have. Oh, Ricky Road 333, you had to put your beloved pet to sleep this past weekend. Does she have a message for you? Well, of course. I really believe what Sterling says. If you're familiar with Sterling, psychic medium, he says that all animals are a part of the angelic realm, that they themselves are not angels, but they're of the angelic realm. And I really believe that. The animals just do extraordinary things for us, besides just lowering our blood pressure and loving us unconditionally. They bring things to us. They bring energy to us. They notice energy around us. They're great energy readers. I'm sure most pet owners will have a story about, yeah, they were just looking up and off to the side and there was nothing there and they were just staring at it for hours. Well, they're looking at beings, energy, guides. They're looking at things that are in a different plane of reality that we don't notice most of the time. Okay, so this is for Reiki Row. Pop that passed on. Well, what I heard as I was shuffling is that they're very grateful that you let them go when you did. This released them from whatever physical discomfort they were experiencing. And they also know that it was a very difficult decision. But the message, I think, is don't hang on to the past. Don't worry about them, the dog. Don't worry about me. Move on. Get your next dog. Try to go on and find love and peace with another animal. Um, yeah, hanging on to the old thing. I mean, they appreciate the love that you send them all the time, but they really don't want you to suffer and they don't want you to mourn too much. of course, there's a part of you that will mourn, but they're looking out for you. They're looking out for a new pet for you, and they are very grateful that their physical discomfort is over. That's really what I got. The cards also kind of reinforce this. The entrapment by a physical ailment, even the considerations of money and safety and health. The pet knows that you are very involved with that, and knows too that it was their time to go. It was their time to end things, and they are very grateful that you brought them peace. They brought you peace. You brought them peace in the way that you allowed them to release their physical body, and they brought you peace and their unconditional love all over the place. And their passing on is, they're it's just natural. It's just a part of the cycle of life. So that's the message that I got for you. Okay. Oh yeah, Goody Cat Mom, you definitely should post a question. Oh, some of these messages are funny. Okay. Okay. Um, uh, okay, here we go. So Goody Cat Mom says, I'm a Libra. Do you have a general reading for me? Yes, I'm going to use a different deck for this. I'm going to pull out my good old Cosmic, if I can reach them easily. There it is, right in front. All right, so Goody Cat Mom, you're a Libra and you want a general reading. And Creative Chick Studios. I'm going to go ahead and just star these so that I can keep track of them and keep moving down the list. Yeah, you sure can. Sorry guys, I'm just starring the questions. No, a tortoiseshell kitty named Snickers, like the candy bar, because they're that color. I had a beautiful tortoiseshell kitty named Rosie. She came to us in the most unusual way. All right. So I'll go back to your question if I can find it. No, Sanity Clause, it's not too late to ask a question at all. We only started at 7:30. Oh, okay. So sorry for all of that, guys. All right, so I'm starting out with this one. I'm a Libra. Do you have a general reading for me from Goody Cat Mom? Yes, let's get you a reading. Okay. And I apologize, guys. When I'm live here, it's just me and I don't have anyone backstage at all. But I usually will mute myself when I shuffle. But if I tried to do that tonight, it would just drag it on and on and on and on. So I'm just shuffling for Goody Cat Mom. She's a Libra. She just wants a general reading. Okay. So, uh, you're in a good place right now, and you're going to end up in a good place right now. And I'm looking at this as from like this last couple of days of February. So the first few weeks of March is what I'm looking at. Maybe not the whole month, but the first few weeks of March. I'm seeing that there is an agreement, a contract, a proposal, something where you and another person are having to work together on something, and you have to trust each other that you're going to make the work, you're going to complete the work or complete the contract, the fulfillment of whatever it is. And I think you can trust that. I think you either know the person really, really well, or you have a good instinct about them, and that this makes you feel at ease. Now, you are keep playing your cards very close to your chest. However, like I said, you have a really good feeling about this contract, this agreement, and I think you're right. I think things are going to go very, very well. You're coming out of a place where you had to make some decisions, either about money or health, and this decision that you've made just now, spot on. It's really, really good. And probably the decision was to pick this person to work with. Now, crowning you is the Prince of Wands. So you're thinking that going through with this contract, going through with this project is kind of planting your flag, kind of rebranding you, showing the world who you are, or maybe it's changing something about your world that's very personal, like your house or the way you dress or the way you present yourself. But you're doing something that you're really showing the world. I'm doing it this way now, and this is me, and this is my brand. The thing that's going to happen is you're coming into a place where people are going to sit up and take notice in a way that you hadn't expected. The Princess of Pentacles is for you in the future. And this is a person who knows their resources, knows either about their body, their health, how to handle money, or they do acquire money. And so this is really good. This is more than what you're even hoping for in this project. It's going to come out of it. Um, you're thinking that even when you get done with this project, you'll still have more decisions to make, and more things to plan, more projects to work, more work to do. But I don't think so. I think this project is kind of a jumping off point where things feel very settled, and like you really kind of I don't know, make a reputation or get to know a lot of people. You make a lot of connections that are very solid, long lasting, and very, you can trust them. They're very secure. It's very, very good. This is you're worried that this is just going to change things either for the very good or the very bad. I think it's more of a transformation. I don't think it's I'm not looking at it in terms of good or bad. I'm looking at it in terms of, are you able to walk forward into the next phase of your life? Because it's a transformation that's going on here. So you're going to have a very different attitude about things, which is really good. We can all use that from time to time. The final outcome is beautiful. It's Four of Wands, and now I know why I picked this deck, because the Four of Wands in other decks is the one where they have the Four Wands and the huppah. It looks like a wedding. It looks like a big celebration, big party with family and everything. Not this guy. This card is like perfect balance. The dancer is perfectly balanced, and you'll notice that they're standing in the center of a spiral. That person is making a beautiful geometric figure with their body, and the spiral is another very, very powerful geometric figure in the world. It represents the Fibonacci series, which is how all things grow. Well, not all things, but a lot of things grow based on the Fibonacci series, which can be a mathematical sequence that represents how a lot of nature grows, because nature does not grow, one, then two, then one, then two, then one, then two. It grows in this series, and because when you look at leaves on a plant, even, it may seem to you like it's just one plant, one shoot, one leaf on each side of a stem, but it isn't. If you really look at it, there's a lot more. It seems haphazard at first, but when you really look at it, it's all growing in this cycle, this series, the Fibonacci series. It's very prevalent in nature. And when you replicate that in things like architecture, life, whatever, you get good results. you get pleasing results. So this very balanced, beautiful dancer, that's you at the end of this thing. So I'm saying towards, by the time Mercury is going direct, you're going to be in a really different place. So it's interesting. Usually with Mercury retrograde, things that are started there don't go that great, but maybe you've already started this thing and you're moving on with it. And by the time you get the spring equinox, really good stuff for you. And maybe that's going past the equinox even and through the whole month of March. But anyway, that's what I get for you, Goody Cat Mom. Okay, so I'll pick these up and we'll get another read going. Okay, so next, Creative Chick Studios. Hey, Colleen, I would like to know how I did on my job interview today. Thanks. All right, let's look at that. I'll just take a little sip of water. Just looking at your profile picture, Creative Chick Studios. I love that. That is beautiful colors. Really interesting. Okay. You did great. You did really, really great. I don't know if the position has anything to do with the medical or health industry, but if it did, that's a very good sign. The Four of Pentacles, the guy in the white jacket almost looks like a doctor. He looks like a professional. So that would be very good for that. But even if it's not for the medical profession, you have the sign of Capricorn in the middle of it. That's very good for industry, for industriousness, and also fours are very good for stability. You did great. You came across as a very solid candidate, but also it's crossed by the Two of Cups. So there's an agreement here. There's a trust and a cooperation and an agreement there. So even if you don't just get the job from that interview, you're going to be one of the finalists for it for sure. Now it's Mercury retrograde, so I'm not surprised to see the Hanged Man here. There could be some delays in them getting back to you. There could be some delays in them just choosing the person for the actual job. You're coming out of a period where you either walked away from a job or you wanted to walk away from a job very badly and were really disappointed in your employer and not wanting to be there anymore. And you still are carrying that energy of I'm being tortured at work. So if you do actually get called by these people and you're coming back for a second interview or even a third interview, make sure that you adjust your attitude to this is going to be wonderful. Envision for yourself an amazingly fair employer, a great company, wonderful benefits, wonderful people to work for. You'll make friends there. I mean, really, really envision just the ultimate perfect job and environment, and try to lose the sour taste you have in your mouth about your previous employer, because I feel that that's really kind of shading things. And if anything would you know, detract from your attractiveness as a candidate, we want to get rid of that. Okay. What comes up in the future about this thing is Six of Cups. So generosity, they're coming. If they offer you this job, it will be a good salary, good benefits, really good things for you. Now you're thinking you're really kind of focusing on the money aspect of it and maybe the benefits too, but you're really looking at this as, I want to make more money. Well, you may make a little bit more money, but more importantly, you'll get all these other benefits from being there. This is really going to be good. They're going to look at you, look at your skills and talents, and know that they could really, really use you. But I got to tell you, you may be one of several who are really qualified for this job. You're a little worried about the competition for this. You already know this about this position, that there's probably quite a few people vying for this position. And, it's not impossible to think that there could be somebody else who's just as great as you are. And so you may feel a little competition. You may feel like you have to compete a little bit more. That's okay. What I'm saying, to put you over the top, get that real positive attitude going about the job, about yourself, about the employer, and that may roll you into actually getting it. But it's not nailed down yet. Okay, so you did great at your interview today. They really, really liked you, and you're in the running. Okay, so the next one is Manwich 60. And did I hear it's your birthday today? Wow. Well, let me just throw something out about that. Having Mercury go retrograde on your birthday is significant. You need to get used to the energy of Mercury retrograde. I don't know if Mercury was going retrograde on the day that I was born, but I do have Mercury retrograde in my chart. And so Mercury retrograde has always been very, very interesting to me. And I'm not totally opposed to the energy. I have learned how to use the energy. So I would encourage you to explore that, Manwich, and see if, because I know you're not born today, obviously, but when you have a certain planetary arrangement happening on your birthday, it affects that year of the whole birthday, right? So for instance, if you had an eclipse on one of your birthdays, the whole next year would be significant in the way that the eclipse affects you. And I can't really go into more specifics than that because I don't know your chart, but whenever you have like a planet changing signs on your birthday or whatever, it affects you. And you'll notice every year on our birthdays, we do get kind of a boost. We do get kind of a, not a total rebirth, but we do get kind of a boost because the sun in the sky is coming very close to the sun in our charts. And the sun is life, is vitality, is chi, is vigor. So you get a big bump of all that energy on your birthday. So happy solar return. That's what we call it. And let me change decks here. And I'll use these for your birthday reading. Okay. Okay. So yeah, this year is going to be significant for you. You start out with the Eight of Wands, so there's going to be a lot of very quick energy for the beginning months, I think, or weeks of your birthday year. And you get the Tower, which means that something significant is going to shake loose in your world, in your life, and bring changes. Now, it's not necessarily always bad changes. What the Tower really does is it is like pulls a brick out of the foundation and things all get shook up, which for a lot of people turns out to be a blessing. For a lot of people, when the universe forces those changes on them, all of a sudden they find themselves starting a new career that is just their burning passion, or they're forced to move and they find that the house that they're in is just the most wonderful place they've ever lived, or causes them to meet the love of their life, or they have to change careers. They're kind of forced into that. And then they find that when they're there, all sorts of wonderful things open up in their life. So it isn't always bad things that happen with the tower, but because we're human, we don't like change. So most people resist that change. You could go with it. I mean, you could just embrace it if you want to. You've got a lot of things going on. So it may be for you that you're just like, oh, one more thing. Okay. And at the base of it, the reason that it's difficult for you is because you have the Four of Pentacles. So your impulse is to stay the same. I want everything to stay the same. I don't want things to change this much. But you're coming out of a period where you've really been pulling back from the world, really retreating from the world and not engaging in humanity very much. So part of your resistance to the change may be just that you're shocked. You're like, well, you're like, this is too much for me. Like it's just over much, and you're feeling like you can't handle it, but you can handle it. You get the Strength card crowning you, which is doing things that you never thought that you could do and doing them well, and pulling things out of yourself, pulling talents and skills that you didn't even know that you had, and then people going, wow, that you did that very well. So something new is coming for you out of yourself, not just the external circumstances, which are also changing given the tower, but you yourself are going to find things that you didn't know you could do coming out of you. And the result is the Six of Wands. This is usually the card of the guy, riding into town on the horse with the flowers on top of his staff, and everybody is supposedly cheering. Now, Libby says that that's the reluctant hero, that he doesn't really feel he's a hero and everybody's actually turning away from him. I don't know. I see it different ways when I see it in the reading. But in this deck, we just have the wands in the air, not unlike the Eight of Wands with the wands flying through the air. So these wands are a little bit different than these wands, but they're not attached to human figures. So I feel that this is, the card is called Achievement in this deck. And I feel that it is showing us that you indeed have done some things that you didn't think you could do, and it was quite the achievement. So that's part of what's coming up for you. Now, the next thing is that you don't want to blow your own horn, but you're going to be very happy about the things that you did, and you will celebrate it quite a bit. And this is going to help you land in a new cycle of growth and opportunity. So see, the tower is going to be good for you because you're going to land in a really, really good spot. So good stuff coming up for you in 2026, and especially in the month of March. And then these two cards kind of jumped out together. We have the Six of Pentacles, which is the card of generosity. And I'm going to say that this is the next to the final outcome card. This is the hopes and fears position, that you are hoping that people will be generous with you and you will be generous with them. And I think that's going to be true. I think both things are going to be true. And the final outcome is the Page of Cups. And in this deck, that's called the loyalty card. So again, you get generosity, loyalty, really good outcome. But going through the change may feel a little, so try not to hold on too tight. Try to roll with it. Try to be a little bit flexible and accept that change is going to come in life, and that you're perfectly capable of handling it, because you and you know that you're a very capable person. All right. So that's what I have for you. So happy solar return. I hope that was a good reading for you. Okay. All right, let's go. This is from artist Liz. May I please have a message from my mother, Margaret? I wish I could get rid of that little thing. There we go. Can I please have a message from my mother, Margaret, about how this year will be for me, health and financially? Sure. Let's do that. Okay, let me get rid of this. Okay. What deck do I want to use for this? Use these. Okay, what is coming up for health and finance for artist Liz this year from Margaret? Oh, your mother does not want to give you too much as far as um, just saying, here's what's going to happen. She wants you to go along and figure it out for yourself. She's saying, Liz has been through a lot in her life, a lot, but she is very strong. She has handled so many things in life and she has learned from it and she has grown from it. And she doesn't need a crystal ball. She just needs to live her life. She's very, very, very strong. So she's not giving me much. She's not giving me any big message about here's what's going to happen and here's what you can do. She wants you to figure it out, as it were. But I'll see what the cards say. Oh, but she wants me to tell you, oh, but I love her. I love her. I want her. I want only the best for her. Yes, I'm sure, Margaret. I didn't mean to imply that you didn't love her. It's not that she is particularly hard on you. She knows you're strong. She knows you can handle things. This is going to be a big year of change for you. You come up first as the magician. So there's a lot that you're going to grab and change. You're going to look at all of the things that you have in front of you, all of your resources, all of the resources, all of the elements that you can grab, and you're going to shape them into what you want them to be. Um, this is crossed by the Page of Pentacles. So it's not so much that the money is going to make much difference in the way that you shape things. You are working things around to where the money is not inconsequential, but it's not the steering and driving force of what you're going to be doing this year. It does mean too that it's a new path for your health. So your health, I think, has turned a corner, and you're moving into better vitality, more healthfulness, more strength, more better immunity, better, just strength in general. The word vive and chi keep coming to me. Now you've started projects that have not come to fruition, and this frustrates you. This is what your mother means about being strong. You can endure, but also you can see beyond the deadline, the date. You can see that things are going to happen when, not exactly when you think they're going to happen, but pretty much, like you are pretty in tuned with how things are unfolding, and that's the way they're going to unfold. Now, you're coming out of actually a fairly successful professional kind of feeling. I think this is more referring to your art. You're getting noticed for your art. You still feel like the money and the health is not what you would like it to be, but we're all a work in progress, right? And I know you know this, but we're all a work in progress. And so to you feel like somehow you've been betrayed in terms of being able to have enough money and have great good health. it's made you feel very, kind of like you got the short stick. And, maybe you did, maybe you didn't, but go back to your mother's message. You're very strong. You know how to manage resources. You're going to work through this and come out on top. And I think she's right. You are going to come out on top. Now, as far as how you're looking at yourself, you are good at managing resources. You're very good. You come out as the Queen of Pentacles. You're good at knowing a good value and what to do about your health too, as well as finances. So you're going to do even better with that in 2026 than you have been. You've been doing pretty good. The world, though, sees you as a mystic. The world sees you with the moon card. So I do think that you combining your psychic abilities, your gifts there, your artistic abilities, and all of your empathy and your intuition and your ability to read people so well. I think that the world sees that and really values that. And yet you are still fearful that somehow your health can be taken away, somehow the money can be taken away, somehow that you're going to be robbed of this and more betrayal is going to happen. So I do think that you have to work on envisioning a much brighter future. You have a good future, but there are things you need to leave behind. And that's what the Eight of Cups is showing too. There are things that you're going to look at and just say, you know what? Not right now. I don't want to work on this right now. I want to work on something else. So as the magician, you're going to assess all the resources and elements that you have at your disposal, and you're going to prioritize them. And the ones that are high priority for 2026, you're going to follow through on those. And the ones that are less high priority, you're going to wait maybe till 2027, maybe even later. So that's what I get for you, Liz. I hope that was helpful. Okay. All righty. So let's go on to the next one. May I have a general reading for the week? Sure. Oh, and I just want to let everybody know I am wearing my otter spirit bracelets tonight. This is an amethyst, which I have a couple of from Otter Spirit. I loved amethyst. And this is peridot, this beautiful green. And this one is my moonstone, which I love wearing. I just feel like every time I put it on, I'm kind of like tuned in. I'm connected. So I just wanted to point that out to everybody. All right. So for Marby Gongora, 9740, general reading for the week. Let's do it. Good. If you have any dealings that have to do with something like the town, the government, some kind of bureaucratic thing that you have to deal with, you're going to find your way through that. You may have to use your intuition to get through it, but you will get through it, and you'll find that there's a good partnership going on. There's some sort of cooperation or agreement, or this could be a contract with a government party, and that's going to be very, very useful, fruitful. That will come about really well. The money or the exchange or the property that's involved with that is all going to be taken care of. And in the final outcome, you have the Three of Cups. You have a little celebration about it. So good week. So things that you're trying to make and get accomplished, you're going to get them accomplished and you're going to be celebrating. So that's for you, Marby Gongora. I hope that was helpful. Okay. All right. And here we go. General reading for March, please. I'm a Gemini sun and Libra rising. Air. Wow. Gemini Sun and Libra Rising. I'm trying to think if I know any Geminis with Libra Rising. I don't think I do. Okay, let's get a reading for you for March. What's going to happen in March? Okay. The month's going to start out with a bang. You get the Tower. So what does this mean? Things, big shakeups. Things are changing. You're going to have something that changes drastically. And could be great, could be not so great. Most people hate change. Like I said in the other reading that had the Tower prominently placed, it could feel really harsh when it starts, and you're going to have to deal with it. Fortunately, what crosses it is the Strength card. So you will rise to the occasion and handle whatever it is that needs to be handled. And I would caution you against being too rough pushing back on this, or if you do have to handle something for somebody, don't be too aggressive in your say you feel like you have to protect somebody or something. Yeah, protect them, but be as gentle as you can and still protect the person. You have some great ideas, and you're coming out of a period where you had a lot of ideas going on, a lot of stuff. So you're starting some new things with communication and your ideas, or writing, or whatever. And this big Tower thing, this may interrupt that. However, you're thinking that you're going to go along and be fine and nothing's really going to affect your security. But after this event, you may feel differently. You may be much more cautious and much more, probably, frankly, worried about security in light of this big change. So I would caution you against just kind of caving and feeling like, oh, okay, they beat me and I just can't, I'm not going to be able to do anything now. Not necessarily, look at life in the bigger picture. Look at your own life and the bigger arc of how things have happened in your life. Did every big change really flatten you and leave you devastated? Not every one. Some, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, everybody has, loss and joy probably in pretty equal measure in their lives, but every single event that happens that changes things doesn't necessarily just devastate you, right? So don't give in to that immediately. Assess what is going on, because you have the strength to handle this. And in fact, this series of changes, or changes that are coming to you, could be one big change or just a series. I'm not saying it's a series. I'm just saying it could be one big change or a series. It's kind of karmic that you're getting some things changed in your life, and it could actually be pointing you in a much more positive direction. So, look at things and see what you can get out of it. Everything that happens to us in life is a lesson and an opportunity. And if you take it to be a lesson and a punishment, then that's what it's going to be. If you take it to be a lesson and an opportunity, that's a much different proposition right there. You have some opportunities here, and you should try to take them. Try not to look on the negative side of everything. Try to look on the positive side of how can this benefit me? How can I turn this into gold instead of, a pile of lemons? In the end, I think you'll find that people are willing to help you and work with you if you're willing to help and work with them. So I do think this is a big learning experience for you. I don't know how old you are or what stage of life you're in, but try to take it as a learning opportunity, a learning opportunity. It can be that if you allow that in your life, and you're perfectly capable of handling whatever is coming your way. Okay? All right. So that's that. That's for Sanity Clause. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. So what's the next thing? If there's time, I'd like a general reading. Scorpio Sun, Gemini, Scorpio Sun, Gemini. Oh, okay. So Scorpio Sun, Gemini Rising, Gemini Moon. Whoo, a lot of Gemini energy going on here. That's the mutability, though. You know, the Mercury retrograde is happening in Pisces, a mutable sign. So this Mercury retrograde is going to be a little bit tough for the people with a lot of mutable signs in their charts. Even those who have Pisces or Virgo, like I have a Virgo moon, I have a Pisces Mars. So, you know, it's going to slap me upside the head. You know, it just is. It's going to happen. And I'm fine with that. I can deal with it. I can run with it. I'm not going to try to do the Olympics during this, you know, Mercury retrograde. You want to use the Mercury retrograde for a lot of introspection, planning, preparing for the next steps, not trying to start big new things. I mean, if you have to start something new, like my daughter's going to have to start a new job during this. So this new job is probably going to feel to her like something going back over the past, back over things that she's done in the past. But you have to go with the energy that the universe is giving you. It's not good to fight that. It's not good to be in denial and just be like, oh, well, I'm just going to ignore the Mercury retrograde. It's not going to affect me. It's going to affect you. It affects everybody to a greater or lesser extent, but those with that strong mutability in their chart, all those mutable signs that I mentioned before, they're really going to be hit by it because it's a strong Mercury retrograde. Okay, so now this is a general reading for the Scorpio Sun, Gemini. Maria feels great. Well, here we go. Okay, so let me get a little sip of water. Okay, you are starting out with the World crossed by the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is not you. Queen of Wands is going to be a fire sign woman, somebody who is very, very busy, usually keeping all the plates spinning in the air. But with Mercury retrograde, she's on her side. She's not able to do things to quite the capacity that she's used to. But for you, this is the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. So big new things coming up for you. And this may be the ending of it, may take from now until your birthday time, from now until June. So it may take a couple of months for everything to really wind. Oh, wait, your birthday's in Scorpio, but your Gemini birthday, you know, when we come around to the sun touching your rising sign, you know, this may take a little while for this ending to really come about. And as it does come about, I mean, this is your Gemini part, the Queen of Swords. This is you thinking of how to manage this, how to do this. Why do you want to start something new? Why do you want to close this chapter and begin a new chapter? It could be a number of things. It could be buying and selling a house. It could be a new job. It could be having a baby. It could be getting married. It could be getting divorced. Any kind of things that's a big life change. That's usually with the World card. That's, you know, big chapter ending and a big new chapter starting. But the Queen of Wands here on her side is the person who is the challenge to you. So this is either somebody who is standing in your way or trying to push you towards something. You may want it, but she's just pushing you faster or further or whatever. So that's what's going on in the present situation. What crowns you is the Hermit. So there could be things you don't want to have happen in this. You're quiet. You're reclusive. You're pulling back from the world. You're going within. That's good. I think going within is always good. But then I have Capricorn rising. So this is kind of like my middle name here. But, going within and getting the answers from within is always, always really good. Listening to your guides, listening to your angels, understanding what they're trying to help you with, because they're trying to help you. They're not telling you what to do. They're not saying you have to do this. This is the best thing for you. They're telling you, here's something you could try. Here's something that might be good for you. When you ask the question, they try to give the answer in such a way that it is for your highest good. So think of that. So the Hermit being up here for your highest good, maybe it's been too long. Maybe the reason that you're trying to retreat from the world is because of a trauma or a hurt and you don't feel you can handle things. Well, maybe you need to talk to someone else. Maybe you need to have someone to talk to about this. It doesn't have to be a therapist. I mean, it could be a friend or something, or somebody who's gone through it, come out the other side. Now, in the future, we have the Seven of Pentacles. This is the card for, planting your fields and being impatient for them to come to fruit, to bear fruit, to come to harvest, for you to be able to get your just rewards from your hard work. So this thing that you started or will be starting, once you start it, you may be a little reluctant to start it. The way things are set up here, you may feel like, oh God, I wish I had done this last year, because then it would be coming to fruition. But nevertheless, that's good that now you have such excitement about it that you can't wait for it to come into being, because I think there was a reluctance to start. And you're feeling like you can always study more, you can always plan more, you can always learn more about whatever it is that you're doing. But I think the universe has different plans for you, because you got the Chariot here. And this is telling me that things actually will start really rolling, especially after this first harvest comes in. Things will really take off and they'll be moving much faster than you even anticipate. What are you afraid of? Again, have I learned enough? Do I know enough? Am I capable? Do I understand everything that's going to go on? Am I really ready for all of this? Sure you are. Gemini, are you kidding? With that Scorpio sun? Yeah. I mean, the Scorpio is very intense about things, right? And you want to have everything in your control. But the Gemini is willing to roll with it and learn from it and adapt to it. That's the mutability of Gemini, right? And the final card is the Six of Wands. You're going to be okay with this. You're going to be all right. You're going to be riding out there and saying, hey, I did it. I won. I got all these things. And this may feel very different for you. It may not be something that you're used to. That's good. Gemini with a Scorpio sun. Good to learn, good to change, good to rely on yourself for different things, good to understand your own gifts and acknowledge that and realize that you can go out and do a whole new thing in your life and be successful for something you never thought you would be successful at. So good for you. I think it's going to be really good. Maria feels grateful. I love that name. And yeah, I think things will be really good. So thank you for letting me read for you. Thank you everybody for letting me read for you. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and share. If you're really, and I need to say thank you to Angie 34. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. And I also just want to let everybody know that on March 8th, I will be having our next members meeting, and I call them my coven meetings. If you are a member of either my membership on my website or on YouTube, you can come to the meeting and we do readings. We do stuff like this and we just chat. It's very casual. So if you want to become a member, then you'll see the notice for the members meeting and you'll be able to come. What else do I want to say? I'm really enjoying doing these readings for everybody and doing more of these solo shows where I just do personal readings. I feel like it gives back to me a lot, a lot, a lot, and I'm very happy about that. Next week we're going to be having a polyterology. I think it's March 5th. Let me check my calendar and my dates. Yeah, so on Saturday we have, well, tomorrow we have the Cool Crone Oracle on this channel at 7:30, which is going to be more personal readings, but with Val, and actually Sun Psychic Jean is going to be on, and Marina and Cleo. So we have a lot of great readers on tomorrow night. On Saturday night, we're going to try to get the other side of the coin on. We've been trying so hard to get this show going, and we've had trouble. Mel has had one thing or another that has prevented him from coming. And then starting in March, we have on the 6th, we'll have polyterology. And on Thursday the 5th, I'll do another personal reading. I'm going to try to do Thursday nights for personal readings. And if I don't have any other show going on, I'll do Friday nights too. So you'll get me twice a week, I think, no matter what, Thursdays and Fridays. I think that's what I'm going to try to settle into. So hopefully I can get the word out. And when I come on, there'll be lots of people in the chat already waiting. All right. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I really appreciate all of you. And if you've been watching on the replay, thank you for watching my replay. And I will see you tomorrow, I hope. But at any rate, I'll see you next time. Bye.